Okay, sorry for the delay as usual, traffic and everything else. So, okay, so update on your test 1, okay, and test 2. So, as I shared with you yesterday, so test 1 and test 2, both of them will be after your mid-semester break, which you will start your 1 week break at the end of this week. Okay. And then, so as far as the date is concerned, there is no changes on test 1. Okay, test 2 is the proposed date. Okay, so test 1 topic 1 to 4, test 2 topic 5 to 7. So basically test 1 and 2 will cover the microeconomics section. Okay, and test 3 and test 4 will cover the macroeconomic section in your syllabus. So today we're going to start with the last topic in your microeconomic syllabus. So we have 7 topics in microeconomics, and the remaining topics will be from topic 8 until the last one will be on the macroeconomics. Will be on the macroeconomic section. Okay, so for me the easier one is, I mean, it depends on student. Some students they say macro is easier, some they say micro is easier. So it depends on on your understanding. But at the end of the day, is multiple choice question. So the question can be in different ways, because at this stage, especially for non-economic student, okay, when your test is based on MCQ, okay, so meaning that you're not required to draw the graph, okay, to show the point of intersection, derive this, derive that. So basically, is quite basic in terms of even at macro level, okay, for the second part of your syllabus. Okay, so the last week we had discussed on the cost function, okay, of a firm, and we discussed on the diminishing marginal return concept, okay, how to calculate marginal product of labor, MPL, okay, how to calculate the average cost, total cost, fixed cost, okay, so those kind of concepts. Okay, so check again the notes or the lecture that we had last week. Okay, so basically today is just a topic 7 is basically a continuation, okay, of the cost topic, okay, cost topic from last week. Okay, if you are an economic student, okay, so when you take microeconomics next semester, so each of the topic that we cover today and last week will be discussed in further detail. Okay, but for at principle of economics level, okay, so it is just on the surface. Okay, we're not going to discuss too much into detail. Okay, because as I mentioned, the test is based on multiple choice question. So most of what you see based on graph. Okay, so you just need to understand what is that line for, what is that line for that graph is for. Okay, the area under the curve. So if you are required to point out that area refers to what, so that is the easy part, okay, in terms of how the assessment is made, okay, because it's based on multiple choice. So you're not going to be tested on, okay, you need to draw the graph, okay, show the area that you need to highlight, or nak lorekkan kawasan, you need to shade the area under the curve and whatnot. Okay, so on topic number 7, okay, competition and monopoly. So basically what we are covering are 2 types of market. One is what we call perfect competition or competitive market. Second one is the monopoly market. So there are 2 types of market that we will cover here. Okay, so the first one is perfect competition, or in Malay persaingan sempurna. Okay, perfect competition market or pasaran persaingan sempurna. Okay, so perfect competition, the word perfect means absolute. Okay, meaning this is of course in economics we assume that, okay, such market exists. Okay, but of course, in real world, all of these assumptions, okay, some of them may not hold, okay, or may not be 100% fulfilled, okay. But in theory, if you have all of these characteristics, okay, fulfilled, then you have a market what is called perfect competition. Okay, and you might ask why do we need to have all of these characteristics when in the real world we cannot have all of these at once. Of course, okay, if you want once you have a perfect model like this, so and it makes easier for you to analyze the behavior of the market, okay, that you are involved in. So at least you know the characteristics. Some market is a combination of perfect competition and monopoly. Okay, some is pure monopoly. Okay, but to have a absolute or perfect competition may not be. I mean, in the real world, it's hard to find, but maybe you can find something close to perfect competition, especially in the online market right now. Okay, you buy online from online retailers, okay, like Shopee, Lazada, Alibaba, and whatnot. Okay, eBay. So those are websites where, I mean, those kind of markets are more close to perfect competition characteristics. So what is perfect competition? Okay, so it's a form of market. Okay, when you say market, is where buyers and sellers meet. Okay, when they meet each other to buy and sell product, so that is a market. Okay, so when you say a market behave as a if the market is a perfect competitive or perfect competition market, what are the characteristics? Okay, so the first one is, of course, there are many firms. So, or there are many sellers. Okay, there are many sellers selling identical. Okay, identical means you cannot distinguish product from seller E and seller B, seller C, seller D. So all sellers are selling products of the same nature. Okay, there is no branding, there is no packaging differences between seller A, seller B. So this could be if you want to imagine the market right now, okay, it could be like, for example, if you set up an online shop, okay, or even a physical shop. So what you do is you take uh, products from many sellers or many wholesalers, okay, pemborong. Okay, for example, if you set up a shop in Shopee, okay, and you want to sell, let's say, let's say you want to sell vitamins. Okay, want to sell vitamins. Okay, vitamin A or vitamin C, vitamin B complex. Okay, so of course that brand is not your brand. Okay, so you will find suppliers, okay, that will sell you the product. So and meaning and then your Shopee shop will have to compete with other sellers selling similar products, meaning similar brands. Okay, so and usually the price will be very close to each other because you can compare when you type the keyword in this website. Okay, and you will be getting, okay, a number of sellers selling similar products. Okay, with prices, okay, more or less the same. Okay, so the first is many sellers, okay, selling identical products. Okay, and there are no restrictions to entry, meaning you can join the market anytime you want. Okay, there is no meaning there is no restrictions. Mean usually this applies to low capital. Okay, the model or the capital to start up the business is quite low, and there is no regulations or law or if you want, for example, if you want to set up a shop if you want to set up a shop, for example, a physical shop. Okay, so usually you need to comply with the law first. Okay, you need to apply, you need to fill up some forms. Okay, and especially if you want to sell certain items that requires license. Okay, so it's not that anyone can if the market is regulated, for example, like rice, okay, beras. So it's not that anyone can sell rice, okay. So you need to have a license to even to import or to sell rice. So the market is quite controlled, okay, or restricted, okay. But if you want to sell, for example, clothing item, baju, okay, clothes. So let's say you want to import from Thailand, from Vietnam, from China, okay, from Bangladesh, and you want to sell your clothing in Malaysia. So usually that kind of products has no restrictions. So you can set up a business today, okay, and if you want to close your shop tomorrow also can. So there is no restrictions, meaning there is no strict laws or permit that requires you to fulfill, okay. So this is one of the element as well. Existing firm has no advantages over new ones, meaning um, because there are many sellers. So sellers come and go. Okay, maybe today you have 20 sellers. Tomorrow maybe you have less than 20. Tomorrow maybe in next week or next year maybe you have more than 50 sellers selling the same thing. So it depends on the market. Okay, if you cannot, some sellers they can sustain longer. Okay, they can survive longer. For example, now during COVID period. Okay, the old, I mean the senior sellers, okay, those who have established first, okay, may not uh, necessarily has advantage, okay, over the new sellers, okay, because in a perfect competition, because the products are the same, okay, identical. So even though you are the existing firms or existing sellers, but when new sellers come, they have to sell similar product at similar price. Okay, so this is what the last this item or this characteristics is. Competitive seller is a price taker, not price maker. So what price taker is? Price taker means you take whatever price determined by the market. So for example, if you want to sell, you want to sell a smartphone. So let's say you want to set up a shop selling smartphones. Okay, smartphones. So and let's say you are selling three brands. Okay, Oppo, what else? Xiaomi, and let's say Vivo. Okay, so all of these three products, usually the price are standard. Okay, for every model. So so when you say let's say the price is set by the company, by Vivo, by by Oppo. So let's say you want to sell a particular model, so the company will set the price. So meaning that you don't have the ability or you cannot simply set your own price. So price taker means, okay, every seller takes whatever price set by the market. Okay, so price maker means you can decide your own price. You are not bounded by any constraint. Meaning you can, if you want to sell 10 ringgit, you can sell. If you want to sell 20 ringgit, you can. Okay, you don't have to follow other people. So this one is usually referred to monopoly. Okay, monopoly is a price maker because you are the word mono means single. Okay, you are the only seller in the market. So because when you are the only seller, then you can have the ability. You have the ability to set your own price. No one can tell you, oh, cannot do this, cannot do that. Okay, or you need to compare your price with your competitor. Okay, in monopoly, single seller. Okay, so the term price maker is usually referred to a market where a monopoly exists. Okay, but price taker, you take the price. Okay, meaning every seller takes whatever price set by the market. If that is the price determined by the market, so you need to follow the price. So for example, if you want to sell a particular smartphone brand, okay, a particular model. So let's say the model now is 3 months old. Okay, so smartphone market, the price changes very quickly. Okay, during launch period. Okay, and after a few months, the price will start to drop bit by bit, depending on the demand. Okay, so if a particular brand was released, let's say 6 months ago, so you cannot sell the I mean, if the price now has reduced by, let's say, 10%. So, and if you are a new seller, you want to join the market, you cannot sell the price at you cannot simply set your own price. Okay, so you must follow whatever the current price of that model is. Let's say now the phone becomes a bit cheaper after 6 months, so you need to follow that latest price, not the original price. So, but at the end of the day, the word price taker refers to market in perfect competition. Okay, and this last two, okay, seller face perfectly elastic demand curve. So if you recall from our discussion before, okay, in the early topic of demand and supply, okay, um, we did discuss on the elasticity of demand, okay, the different type of demand curve. So if I can go quickly here, where is it? Um, mm, 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 this one. Uh, we did discuss on the perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic demand curve, right? So never mind, but I will show you guys after this. Okay, so the word perfectly elastic, okay, perfectly elastic is that the demand curve is flat, okay, is horizontal. So the usual demand curve shape is what we learned before is downward sloping. Okay, downward sloping means okay, so this is a normal demand curve. Okay, and then you have in topic number 2, when you learn on the demand curve, okay, downward sloping demand curve, if it is inelastic, then the shape of the demand curve is very steep. If it is elastic, then it will be quite flat. Okay, but it is still downward sloping, whether it's flat, which is elastic, or inelastic, which is very steep. Okay, but a perfectly elastic, the demand curve will be a perfectly horizontal line. So if you are drawing your P and Q axis, okay, so a perfectly elastic demand curve will be a horizontal line like this. Okay, so this is what a perfectly elastic demand curve. The perfectly inelastic, the demand curve will be perfectly horizontal. Sorry, vertical. So in this case, okay, when seller face a perfectly elastic demand curve, so the demand curve for a perfect competition market, for every seller, okay, the seller's demand curve will be a flat line, okay, a perfectly elastic demand curve or a horizontal line, okay. And because of this nature, okay, so I will explain. So when you have a perfectly elastic demand curve, not the normal downward sloping, so why it is perfectly elastic? Because of this reason here that we discussed just now. Uh, because of the element of sorry. Give me a few something not right about the. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the. Uh, okay. So okay. We discussed about this perfectly elastic demand curve, right? So the demand perfectly elastic demand curve, the demand curve which So you must ask why demand curve, not supply curve. Okay, so when you talk about seller, okay, so when you are selling a product, you are selling to customers. So and for you to sell, you need to know how much, what is the demand for your product. So as a seller, when they are entering a market, okay, the demand curve that a seller gets, okay, when they want to join the market. So the seller's demand curve, okay, the seller has their own supply curve, which is the normal upward sloping. Okay, but every seller face a demand curve from the market, which is perfectly elastic, which because of this nature, okay, why perfectly elastic? Because of this characteristic here, price taker. Okay, because there is, when you only can take the price. Okay, so if you recall from the normal downward sloping line, okay, that we usually see. So a downward sloping line means there will be different prices. Okay, at this price, what's the quantity? At this price, what will be the quantity? So there will be different prices. Okay, but when you face a perfectly elastic demand curve, meaning there's only one price here. Okay, so your price is only one. Okay, so and at this price you can sell zero, or you can sell as many as you want. So because uh, the firm is a price taker. Price taker means if you want to join the market, you cannot set your own price. You must follow whatever price set by the market. So in order to visualize, in order to make this thing, in order to take into account this characteristic, if a firm is a price taker, and price taker means they cannot face more than one price. If you're selling one product, for example, and the product is priced at $10 per item, so that will be the price that you will follow, 10 ringgit per item. Okay, and for you to sell depends on how your interaction with your customers, how well you can promote your shop and whatnot. Okay, so for example, if you're selling online on Facebook, for example, if you are a good Facebook or Instagram or social media seller, so you know how to use your your links, promote to your friends, share the link of your Facebook pages, okay, to other friends. Okay, then you will have a big demand. Okay, but whatever your demand is, the price will remain the same that you can sell. So if the product that you want to sell, everyone is selling at 10 ringgit, so you must sell also at 10 ringgit. Okay, but your demand can go from zero to infinity. Okay, means it can start from zero as many as possible, depending on how many customers want to buy your particular product. Okay, so because of the characteristics that the perfect competition market has, which is a price ticker, because of this price ticker element, the demand curve is perfectly elastic. So when the demand curve is perfectly elastic, that brings us to this last point here. The price of the product or the market price will be equals to the average revenue, okay, and will also equals to the marginal revenue. Okay, and these three items, okay, they are all equal in terms of value. The price of the market price is also equals to the average revenue value. Okay, MR stands for marginal revenue, and demand curve is your demand curve lah. Okay, so all of these three items are the same. Okay, and you can see why these three are equal, because of the perfectly elastic demand curve shape. Okay, we will see some example afterward. Okay, why this is all the same. Okay, but at this stage is sufficient for you to know for a perfect competition market. Okay, there are many sellers, no restrictions to entry or to leave the market. Okay, every sellers and buyers are well informed about the price, meaning when you want to join the market, okay, every seller knows what is the current price. And also for sellers, for buyers. For customers, okay, we assume that, okay, if you go log in into Shopee, Lazada, or any online website, or if we go to a retail shop, okay, to a pasaraya or supermarket, okay, so we assume that if that market is a perfect competition market, uh, every customers or buyers, okay, they know what is the price that they should pay. So if you're looking at certain item, you know that okay, today this will be the price, okay, or this week this will be the price that you are expected to pay. So meaning there is no element of in theory there is no element of cheating by the sellers, meaning they can simply jack up the price. Okay, so buyers and sellers are well informed, meaning they know what is the current prices. Okay, so that is so just now we mentioned about these three concepts. I mean, AR, MR. Okay. So what is AR? Average revenue. So how the word average means mean lah. Okay. Hasil purata. Okay. Or average revenue. So how do you calculate revenue? Price times quantity. Okay. So if you sell a product, okay, let's say you are selling a product at 10 ringgit. So if you sell 20 units, 20 times 10, you get 200 ringgit lah of your revenue. So revenue is calculated as P times Q, price times quantity. Okay, and average revenue is total revenue divided by the number of products sold. Okay, TR over Q. Okay, so that will be so TR. Okay, first you need to know what is your formula for TR, total revenue, which is P times Q, price times quantity, gives you total revenue. So once you get total revenue, then you can calculate your AR or average revenue. Average revenue is total revenue, okay, divided by quantity. Okay, the quantity of the product sold. So if you let's say your total revenue is 1,000 ringgit, okay, and from this 1,000, you manage to sell 100 units of your product. So 1,000 divided by 100 give you 10 lah. Okay, so AR equals to 10. So AR is total revenue divided by quantity. Okay, so this is so TR, AR, and then marginal revenue. So we discussed the concept marginal before in the previous chapter. Okay, the previous topic we talked about marginal product. Okay, so the word marginal or even marginal utility. Marginal is always about changes. Okay, you add one more product, what will be your additional what will be your, I mean, you add one more labor from last week lecture. Okay, the firm hires additional labor, additional worker. So what is the additional product that the company can produce? So that is the MPL, marginal product of labor. Okay, in the previous topic on consumer, we talk about marginal utility. You consume one more product, okay, one additional product. What is your additional utility that you get? Okay, so I use the example on watching a movie in a cinema for the first time, for the second time. You watch a movie the first time, you get a certain amount of utility. Okay, you watch the same movie the second time, okay, you get an additional utility from watching the movie the second time. So marginal is about additional or changes in the value. Okay, so the word revenue, you add to the marginal, so you are adding what is the additional revenue. Okay, from when you sell and from the sale of an extra unit of output. Okay, because TR is based on P times Q, price times quantity. So that gives you total revenue. So when you sell one more product, your TR will change. Let's say from 10 units, okay, now you are selling 11 units. So P times Q, if Q is 10, your TR will be different. If Q is 11, your TR will be different as well. So marginal revenue is the changes from selling 11 unit versus selling 10 unit of product. The changes from additional unit, okay, of output. So that is MR. Okay, so you can see from the simple example here. Okay, okay, so just now we mentioned that in a perfect competition market, every firm is a price taker. Okay, price taker just now. So every price taker means the seller only gets one price. Okay, and because of this, you have a perfectly elastic demand curve, which I showed just now, a perfectly horizontal line. So a perfectly horizontal demand curve means that if you are selling a product, you can only sell at one particular price. Okay, so that brings us to this example here. Why the price is the same? Because the firm is a price taker. Okay, so they can only sell at $131, for example, in this case here. Okay, so if you imagine that this is your the demand curve that a seller has. Okay, so let's say you are setting up a shop, okay, online. Why I say online all the time? Because it's the easiest place to start a business, because you don't need much capital, you don't need a lot of advertising, because all of that, I mean, everything is done by the website developer. Okay, for example, if you are a frequent buyer at Shopee, okay, Shopee always have this monthly sale, okay, 11/11, 10/10, the 10th of October, the 11th of September, and December will be the 12th of December. So the date that correspond to the month, okay, Shopee will have this so-called sale, where sometimes you can get free shipping, and some other promotion, you get extra coins or something like that, okay. So if you know that if the demand curve is perfectly horizontal, so this is the demand curve, okay, faced by the seller, okay. Okay, okay, so this is the demand curve, okay. So this is the price. So and this is the quantity, it start from 0 to how many units that you can sell. So 131 multiplied by 0, so you start at 0, TR will be 0 lah. And you can start from there, a simple mathematics. Okay, 131 times 1 and follow suit until you get 1310. Okay, because the price is constant, so mathematically changes your MR, or the changes in your marginal revenue. Okay, so what is the formula for MR? Change in TR, you divide by the change in quantity sold. Okay, so change in TR divided by change in quantity sold. So 131 minus 0 divided by 1 minus 0 gives you 131. 262 minus 131 divided by 2 minus 1 gives you also 131. Okay, and this value remain constant because of this fixed price here. If this price is not fixed, if this price changes, of course your MR will also change. But because of the perfectly elastic demand curve, okay, so your MR is also the same as your price. Okay, so this is the price. Okay, so let's calculate your average revenue, your AR. If you recall from the notes just now in the previous slide, okay, we mentioned that AR is also equals to price. Okay, MR equals to price, MR also equals to AR, or AR. So these three are all the same thing, and these three also equals to the demand curve. Okay, so let's look at this example again. So now, okay, so we start by, this is your price, okay, the price, and then the quantity, and then here you get your TR. P times Q gives you total revenue, okay, and then once you get TR, you can calculate your MR. Changes in TR divided by changes in quantity sold. 262 minus 131 divided by 2 minus 1 gives you 131. Okay, so far what we have shown is the price. Okay, price is equals to MR. Okay, the price is equals to MR. Okay, so how about AR? Okay, price equals to AR, and is also should be equal to AR. So how do you calculate average revenue? Okay, average revenue is calculated by TR divided by Q. Correct? Okay, AR for average revenue is obtained by TR divided by Q lah. So TR over Q gives you AR. So your TR is this column here. So TR bahagi dengan divide by Q, you also get 131 also. So 131 divided by 1, 131, 262 divided by 2, 131. 393 divided by 3 also 131. So the reason why AR equals to MR equals to price, because of this nature of the fixed price, or we're not calling fixed price, because of the nature of every firm is a price taker. So you take whatever price set by the market, and because of this element, every firm or every seller has a perfectly elastic demand curve, which is a perfectly horizontal demand curve. Okay, so you only has one price here. Okay, one price, and because you only selling at one price, okay, because of that, you have these elements of the AR will be equals to MR, will also be equal to the price. Okay, so P equals to AR equals to MR, which is also the demand curve. Okay, and this is what the element in the perfect competition market is. Okay, so P equals to AR, MR, which is also equals to the demand curve. Okay, why equals to demand curve? Because just now we mentioned that the demand curve is perfectly elastic, straight line. So the demand curve also equals to the value of the market price and the rest. Okay, AR, MR. Okay, TR is output sloping lah, because you get P times Q. But what is important is these three equality here. P equals to AR, equals to MR, equals to demand. Okay, usually in economics, when you calculate your average revenue of a seller, okay, average revenue is usually also we call as demand curve. Okay, so you can delete this one. I mean, if you want to, but I mean, there are two ways for you to look at it. Okay, when you calculate average revenue, AR is also actually equals to the demand. Okay, so I mean, there are two ways to look at it, but when we proceed with the topic here, you will see that when you draw your AR curve, AR usually when you draw your average revenue line, okay, you will see that AR, okay, AR slash demand, okay, not divide, okay, AR or you can also say AR equals to demand, okay, because average revenue curve is always the demand curve. Okay, so that is one way for you to look at it, okay, or if you want to stick to the original slide, which is okay, P equals to AR equals to MR equals to demand. Okay, but take note that AR and demand curve usually is this on the same line. Okay, not not only for perfect competition, but also for monopoly. Okay, so because now we are only discussing on perfect competition. Okay, but for both markets, okay, or for any markets that but of course in this syllabus we only cover two types of markets: perfect competition and monopoly. Okay, so take note that okay, the average revenue curve is also known as the demand curve. Okay, so and then that brings us to this third part, which is so once you understand the characteristics, okay, and because of the characteristics, you can show that price equals to AR equals to MR, okay, and also equals to the demand curve. Okay, so now we want to know how does a seller, okay, maximize the profit. Okay, so at the end of in the previous topic, we talk about cost, okay, total cost, fixed cost, variable cost, okay, marginal product of labor, okay, but we don't discuss about profit maximization, okay, because from last week topic, we don't discuss about revenue. So once you discuss about revenue, then you can start discussing about profit, because profit is revenue minus cost. Okay, so until you discuss about revenue, then we can talk about profit. Okay, last week we only discussed about the cost, okay, the cost, the fixed cost, variable cost, and the rest. Okay, so today in today's topic, okay, topic number 7, we are discussing also, we have started to discuss on the revenue concept. So once you already discussed about revenue, then finally we can see, for every seller, for most sellers, what they want to maximize is profit. Okay, profit is the ultimate goal. Okay, so the common approach that we apply for monopoly and perfect competition market is MR equals to MC approach. Marginal revenue equals to marginal cost approach, not minus. Okay, it's supposed to be MR equals to MC approach. Okay, so MR equals to MC rule. A firm will maximize profit or minimize losses by producing at the point where MR is equal to MC. So the word MR equal to MC is an equation or condition lah. So you calculate what is the firm's marginal revenue and what will be the marginal cost at certain range of the product. So you find a point where your marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect. Okay, in terms of graph, you see when the two lines cross each other lah, or intersect. In terms of mathematics, you can equate them into into equation like this. Okay, equality. When MR equals to MC, you get the quantity that the firm needs to produce. Okay, so and take note that in perfect competition, this is only for perfect competition. In monopoly, it's slightly different. Okay, so in perfect competition, we show that price is also equals to MR, correct? Okay, from this graph here, the price 131 is also equals to MR 131. Okay, and this is only true in perfect competition. In monopoly market, that will be discussed next Wednesday or next Thursday. Okay, you will see that in monopoly, the price will not be equals to MR, because in monopoly the price is not constant. Okay, as I mentioned just now, in monopoly, the firm is a price maker, not price taker. So because in monopoly the firm is a price maker, okay, we will discuss this further on next Thursday. But I just want to highlight that the condition where price equals to MR here, P equals to MR, is only valid for perfect competition. Okay, so because we know that P in perfect competition, P is also equals to MR, correct? Okay, which is also equals to AR lah. Okay, but what I want to highlight is AR is MR here. P is also equals to marginal revenue. So sometimes when you read certain books, then for perfect competition, of course the general approach is MR equals to MC. This is the general approach which apply to every market. Perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly. Of course, you will not learn oligopoly under principle of economics syllabus, but there are different types of market. Not only monopoly and perfect competition. So MR equal to MC is the general guideline. But in perfect competition, because of the price taker assumption, and you have the equality where price is also equals to MR. So one way to look at this, MR equals to MC. Some books also use P equals to MC. Okay, price equals to marginal cost. Okay, why P not MR? Because in perfect competition, price is also equals to MR. So if you read or if you check certain books, for principle for perfect competition, sometimes they don't use MR equal to MC. They use P equals to MC. But both are the same, because in perfect competition, price happen to be equal to MR. So you can substitute MR with P, P with MR. Both are the same thing. Okay, but this is only true for perfect competition market, not for monopoly market. Okay, where P equals to MR. For monopoly, you must follow MR equals to MC. Okay, but for perfect competition, you can either use P equals to MC or the general rule MR equals to MC, because both will be the same answer. Because P in perfect competition, P is also equals to MR. Okay, so that is in terms of the condition. Okay, and then the three characteristics of when MC equals to MR rule. Okay, firms would rather produce than shut down. Okay, it is common in business. Okay, when you want to produce, when you join a market, it does not mean that you will make profit all the time. Okay, so for example, now during COVID, okay, so you might maybe you used to have profits, maybe big profits, or average profit during before the COVID-19. Okay, but because of COVID-19, people have less money to spend. People cannot go around and go, shopping as freely as they want to. Other restrictions, the PKP and whatnot, the lockdown. So there will be many sellers that are now facing reduced sale. Their sales volume now has reduced. So depending on the kind of things that you usually sell. For example, if you recall, I showed you a video of the tea life in our school building here. Okay, we have a tea life shop. Okay, during normal time, okay, the queue or the line for students to buy will be very long. Okay, sometimes you need to wait 20, 40, 50 minutes just to get your drink. But now, because of this COVID-19, students are no longer on campus, and if just to rely on staff to buy the tea life will be very small in quantity. Okay, so this kind of business are affected during COVID. Okay, so in perfect competition, the idea is that even though you are making loss, meaning your revenue is less than your cost, okay, but not necessarily you need to stop doing business altogether or shut down. Shut down means you close shop completely. So there is also a time where you're still making a loss or you're not making profit. Your revenue is less than your cost, but maybe you can still bertahan or sustain. Okay, maybe for another few months. Okay, depending on certain condition. Okay, so okay, we will discuss this, I think, in the next slides. Okay, but firm would rather produce than shut down. MR equals to MC is the condition that we mentioned just now. Okay, so this is what I mentioned. Competitive market maximizes at P equals to MC. So P equal to MC is because P is also equal to MR in perfect competition. So MR equal to MC or P equal to MC. Okay, so when we mentioned that you need to find a point where P equal to MC, so in a simple table here, okay, so if the firm sells from 0 up to 10 units, so given the a simple table like this, okay, where you have your total cost, the market price, from market price you can calculate your revenue, and then you can calculate your MC. Okay, so once you have your total cost, average fixed cost, average variable cost, average, okay, so this is a bit indirect, okay, because these three columns are based on average, okay, but if you want to calculate marginal cost, you must base on total cost, not average cost. Okay, so usually you need to multiply by the quantity first. So this okay. Okay, so what is important here, okay, is you can calculate this manually on your own, okay, so it will take a longer time for us to complete. Okay, so let's focus on the red line here first. Okay, so marginal cost 90, 80, 70, 60 and whatnot, it start to decline and then go up again. Okay, if you recall from our last week lecture, marginal cost usually it has like a U shape. Okay, it start to decline and then goes up again. Okay, check our note from last week. Okay, so that's why it starts to decline and then go back and then go up again. So that is a normal shape for marginal cost. It goes down, so it's like a U shape but not a complete U shape. Okay, it declines a bit, then it goes up again. Okay, and then your marginal revenue, which is equal to the price, okay, P equals to MR here. So you find a point where P, the price is exactly equals to marginal price. Of course, here you cannot get the exact price. So maybe the closest one is somewhere on the 9 here. That's why it's you can see that the quantity 9 is bold. Okay, So because at 131 or 13, this is the closest that you get, where price will be equal to marginal cost. P equals to MC, or MR equal to MC. Both are the same thing. But in perfect competition, usually we will say P equal to MC. So 131 and 130 is quite close. So the firm will produce at 9 unit, because at 9 unit, when MC equals to MR or price equals to MC, okay, where P equal to MC, where the profit will be maximized at 299. Okay, how do you get profit? Revenue minus cost. Okay, here you have your, so what is missing from the table is the total revenue column, and also total revenue and also total cost. So if you check from the annual slide, okay, which also was provided to you in the OL, okay, maybe you can get a different table, okay, altogether from is there any table to show okay, here not only gives you on the MR equals to price just now, okay, so which we already seen just now, okay, so okay, never mind. So I think no need to worry too much on this proving side, okay. So what you need, because you're not going to be tested, you know, your questions are all multiple choice MCQ, so you're not going to be, you know, expected to fill up a table like this unless the exam is structured questions, okay, where maybe you are given a blank table like this, certain numbers are given, and then you need to complete the whole table, okay. But because at your level, due to the nature of the test is MCQ, okay, so as long as you understand the concept of P equal to MC, price equal to marginal cost, the quantity that maximizes is at 9 unit, okay. Of course, this is not exactly the same, but this is the close as possible to price equals to marginal cost. Okay, so when you plot all of this graph, your marginal cost, okay, so we in last week lecture we already shown MC, AC, and AVC, right? So hopefully you do your revision on time, because after we finish each lecture, okay, so you are expected at least to revise within 24 hours, 1 day, okay, so that whatever that was discussed on that particular lecture, okay, will stick in your brain longer. Okay, so this is what we discussed last week. Okay, the MC, which is the yellow line, it goes down and it goes up again. Okay, average cost is the green one above. Okay, average variable cost, okay, the one below the average cost. Okay, average fixed cost is the one going down and down. Okay, but usually when you want to plot the graph, we only choose 3 out of the 4, which is MC, marginal cost, average cost, and also average variable cost. The average fixed cost doesn't really contribute much in terms of decision making of a firm. Okay, that's why what you see here, okay, in terms of the cost line, the one with the CEC, marginal cost, okay, average total cost or average cost, both are the same. You can call AC or also ATC. Both are the same thing. Sometimes certain books only use AC, average cost. Okay, so AC or ATC is the first cost line, followed by below that is average variable cost. So the shape will be something like this: a U shape for ATC, a U shape for AVC, and then an upward sloping goes down and then goes up again for marginal cost. And then you have this, don't forget, as what I discussed last week, okay, when MC cuts your EC, this point here and also this point here, when they cut average variable cost, this point will be the minimum point, this will be the minimum point. Of course, in this graph, it might not be like that minimum, okay, but in calculation, you can always show that MC curve, okay, will always intersect with AC at minimum AC, MC will also cross or cuts average variable cost at minimum ABC. Okay, so these three cost line, and then we add another line, which is our demand curve here. The MR, which is also, you can write here, equals to equals to price equals to AR. Okay, the condition that we discussed just now in the third slide. Okay, P equals to AR equals to MR, and also don't forget equals to demand. Okay, so this condition, MR equals to P equals to AR, which is also equals to demand. So this line here that you see, all are referring to the same value. This line equals to P equals to AR, demand, and also MR. Okay, so in this table, in this graph here, so what you see is the highlighted yellow area here. So how do you get this yellow area? Okay, so recall that our profit maximizing condition is tadi apa? Is MR equal to MC or P equals to MC. So we replace MR with price. So you find at the graph that we see right now. Okay, so where is the part where MR equals to MC or P equals to MC? So it's quite simple to see. MR, and this is your MC curve, the green one. Okay, this is your MR or the price curve lah. Okay, so I prefer to use P rather than MR in perfect competition because it is more, it is more accurate. Of course, both are the same thing. Okay, so where is the line where P equal to MC? So basically, the word P equal to MC, the equality sign means in terms of graph, when the two graphs intersect. When the two graphs cross each other, that is when the equality, that's what the equality means. Bila mana kamu lukis, keluh lah. Okay, when it comes to graph, when you say P equal to MC, find the point where the two lines intersect. So MC and price line intersect at this particular point here, okay, which is you can see clearly from this graph. So at this point is when P equal to MC. So what you need to do is just locate the y-axis and also the x-axis for the quantity and also for the value, which is the profit. So here you get the quantity, which is equals to 9, and the profit, which is 131. So this, of course, the value 131 here, you already prove. You can from the, sorry, you cannot. Okay, 131 is the price. Okay, and the profit is the yellow area here. So you cannot get directly the profit from the scale here. So you need to deduct 131 minus 97.78. That will be the profit area. Okay, so sorry, to get the profit is TR minus TC. Okay, my mistake. Okay, profit is calculated as pi, or the profit equals to TR minus TC. Okay, so when TR minus TC, you get your profit, revenue minus cost. So the area of profit is the one highlighted in yellow. Why this is the yellow? How do you get the yellow area exactly on this box here? So it's quite simple. Okay, once you get the point where P equal to MC, this point here, and you locate what is the relevant price, and also which is the P and the Q. Okay, the price and the quantity. So if you okay, how do you calculate TR? TR is P times Q. This one I already mentioned several times. Total revenue is calculated as price times quantity. Okay, so this is the price. Okay, P and Q lah. Okay, the whatever dollar value here. So at this point you get the price. So P times Q, this whole box here, if I can highlight this whole box here, the whole thing, the one in red are all total revenue. Okay, sorry for the messy drawing, but I just want you to see the whole area of total revenue is this red box here. P times Q is your total revenue. Okay, which is the simple formula to calculate TR. Okay, so this is your price, this is your quantity. So the whole square, the one that I highlighted in pink, is the total revenue area. So what about your total cost? Okay, total cost is, so how do you locate your total cost? Okay, we base total cost on the average cost line. Okay, of course, this is not total cost, this is average cost. Okay, but how do you calculate average cost? How do you calculate AC or average total cost? AC is TC divided by Q, correct? Okay, or ATC, sama lah. ATC or AC, both are the same thing. Average total cost, the word average is pro rata. So to calculate mean is total cost divided by Q. So because our graph is based on average, not based on total. So to get total, we just cross multiply. To get total cost is simply average cost multiply by quantity lah. Okay, simple mathematics. Okay, so our graph are all based on average cost and average variable cost. Okay, and here is your MC lah. But for you to calculate profit, profit is based on TR minus TC. So TR just now we get by P times Q. Okay, the whole box here. Okay, so where is the area of total cost? Okay, so total cost just now we mentioned that we can get total cost by AC multiplied by Q. Average cost multiplied by Q. So along this line, when the line cuts your average cost point, which is here, okay, and then the point here, 97.78. This is the average cost value. Okay, so average at this point, AC is equal to 97.78. So to get total cost is simply multiply by average cost multiply by quantity. So the blue box here refers to your average cost, total cost area. AC times Q gives you total cost. Okay, just now I mentioned AC equals to TC times TC over Q. So AC times Q gives you total cost. So AC times Q gives you total cost. So that gives you the remaining area as profit. So TR minus TC gives you profit area. Okay. So so that will be the so we'll continue on this part here next Wednesday. So I think it's a bit quite long already, our discussion. So the rest of the monopoly and everything, I think shouldn't. I mean, of course, you can see there are so many graphs here. Okay, but I think when you look at the MCQ, the questions from your test bank, okay, exercises, okay, so because not all of this can be asked in MCQ format. Okay, so at this stage, you need to understand how to calculate the profit. Okay, perhaps the area of profit that is highlighted. What is the correct area of profit here, for example? Okay, so that would be the main thing that you need to understand at this stage. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so let's do just one or two questions from past years, just to get you an idea the kind of questions that is relevant for. Of course, this is just a few sample questions. Okay, so there are many ways that the question can be asked in your test. Okay, so okay, look at question number 37. Okay, if a firm in a perfectly competitive industry raises its price above market price, okay, so what will happen if the seller sell above the market price? Okay, the answer should be B actually, not C. Okay, so if you recall from the demand curve of a seller is perfectly elastic. Okay, so if they raise the price above the market price, okay, then there is no demand curve on that point. So basically, the demand is zero lah. Okay, so that's why in a competitive market, okay, you cannot set your own price, and usually if you know, and there is no point selling below market price because you're not going to get any because everyone is selling at the same price. But if you decide to sell higher, then your sale will drop to zero lah. Okay, because you have no demand curve on that point. Okay, question 38. Okay, last question. Okay, the assumption that perfectly competitive as many sellers, each selling an identical product, lead to the conclusion that okay. So I think this is what we discussed in great length just now. Firm price takers. Okay. Okay. So I think it's enough for today. So we'll continue on our lecture on perfect competition. Okay, so on your assignment, okay, I will update on that later. Okay, so because no need to worry on that, still plenty of time. So there's a lot for me to check. So I will update you maybe on the end of this week before you go for your mid semester break. Okay, so thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning.